Award-winning filmmaker Darren Aronofsky is best known for Black Swan, The Wrestler, Requiem for a Dream, and The Whale, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But he just released his debut novel, Monster Club, along with his screenwriting partner Ari Handel. There you go. It's right there. It's out in stores now. Darren, thank you so much for your time today.
I'm holding it in my hand, not to be like some salesman, but because of supply chains, it just came in today and it's just got released today. And to hold your first hardcover book is just like, I will be sleeping with it tonight. So, and it feels so, HarperCollins did such a beautiful job. I'm just very flattered. And so I'm going to hold it.
You're going to hold it. Set in Coney Island. You grew up in Coney Island. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the story.
Well, Coney Island is just a magical place, and I was blessed that my parents chose to live near there. I don't think that's the reason they chose it, but it's such an important part of American history. Most people think that the first light that the immigrants saw when they were coming to Ellis Island was the light on the torch of the Statue of Liberty. But in fact, it really was the 10,000 light bulbs of Coney Island that would light up the skyline. No, there was not a collection of light bulbs like that. And it just has this incredible history, from Harry Houdini to Thomas Edison to so many luminaries came there over the years, that it was amazing to have that as a neighborhood growing up. And I always wanted to share the magic of Coney Island with the world, but I didn't want it to be fully real. So I took the magic ink from a magic marker and a group of friends based on the guys I grew up in South Brooklyn, and sort of unleashed this story inspired by Goonies and Gremlins and even a little bit of Stranger Things, and just opened it up to the world.
All those magical 80s moments that when you just started saying those words, it takes me right back to being a kid. Let's talk a little bit about the character of Eric, because obviously it's such a tough time when you have your group of friends, when kids start growing up, when they start changing their friends and different things they're into. I mean, it's a tough time, but we're getting this magical story out of it.
Yeah, I was very interested in that moment that I can remember very clear, and I think a lot of adults can remember, and a lot of kids who are 9 to 12-year-old are probably going through, which is that time when you leave elementary school and you got to go to the big boy, big girl, middle school. It's terrifying. Those ninth graders are huge when you're a sixth grader, and suddenly you're expected to kind of let go of a lot of the things that you had that were really important to you when you were a kid, and these adult kind of ideas are starting to come in, that you have to behave a certain way and you have to start doing things that you may not be ready to do. And that's really the monsters that are in this book. It's not a scary book. It's more of a thriller, and there's a lot of energy and excitement. It's more of an action film than a horror film, if it was to be in that genre. So I really wanted to capture that kind of moment of that first time we're asked to kind of grow up.
Are you planning on making this a series or a movie? Because it has this written all over you, where I was like, I cannot wait to see what is also boiling in your mind as far as what the future holds for this project.
It'd be incredibly ironic if Hollywood started calling me, but look, they have my phone number, so we'll see what happens. But it is the first of two books. We've just finished outlining the second book, and we're just getting into starting to write it. And of course, the story is getting bigger and bigger. So it's been just a lot of fun to live with Eric Doodles and all of his buddies and all the monsters they create as they come to life.
Speaking of Hollywood having your number, let's talk a little bit about The Whale getting huge response in Toronto. Hopefully it's going to be coming to the Chicago International Film Festival as well, too.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I love Chicago. One of my college roommates is a professor over at the University of Chicago, Rich. So I'd love to go visit him and his family. And I just love getting to Chicago. It's such a, I'm not bragging, or I'm not trying to kiss butt or anything, but I just love, it's just such a different city than New York, and it's really fun to visit.
As far as Brendan Fraser, obviously an actor that many people grew up with, and now he's getting praise for this role. So 5-minute standing ovation at TIFF. Let's talk a little bit about working with him and just some of the reaction to his character.
It's just insane, the love that's out there for Brendan, which was really not in my calculation when I cast him. It took me 10 years to cast The Whale. That's how long I've had the rights to the material. And I just couldn't find an actor that made me excited to work on it. And then the idea of Brendan Fraser showed up. and it just, the light bulb went off, and I was like, yes, this makes sense, this is going to work. And the kudos now that we're getting because of the love for him is all bonus. Like it was not part of my calculation. He was the right human for that role, and I'm just happy that it's happening for him, because not only is he such a great entertainer, there is such a big heart in the human that is Brendan Fraser. It couldn't be happening to a better man.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we can't wait to see the film. I mean, you're having such an exciting fall between Monster Club and this movie. We're excited for all the projects that you have in store for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and I'm excited to share Monster Club. It is my first book, and I love. I hope all the parents will go out there and read it with their kids, or have their kids read it by themselves.
And in stores now. I said in Coney Island, one of the coolest places that you can find in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.